All right, what's good, y'all? We back. It's your boy ARP. Welcome back to the Sorry is True podcast. I like these, man. I'm having fun doing these, so I figured, why not? Let me do another tiering list before the week is over. I might do these once, twice a week. I don't know. I got to see how I could fit them in. But today I was thinking, man, it's been a very active battle rap week. A lot of news, a lot of controversy, a lot of buzz, a lot of talk. So I said, let me do a top five. All right. Now, small disclaimer, hopefully that there's nothing crazy that happens in November or December that falls outside the list before I do this video that is like negative. All right. I ain't praying for negativity, but here's the reason why I put that in there early. Let's be honest. Negativity, especially within like the last 3 to 5 years of battle rap, it tends to be attached with the biggest topics. Now, there are those times during the year in battle rap where we have some big main events, big battles, highly anticipated battles that maybe have been in the making for years. For example, in 2026, if we get to January and Daylight versus Loaded Lux gets announced, even if there's not no trailers, there's no face off, it still will go down as being one of the most talked about situations within battle rap for 2026. But outside of that, I bet you there will be a slew of other scenarios that'll be tied to controversy. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up each of my top five. I even got two honorable mentions for y'all, and I'm gonna pull up videos for y'all. Then I'm gonna come back and put them into the tiering list after we watch them. Okay. So I'm trying to keep this fun for y'all. But before I go into the footage and we get off of this list, let me give a little bit of examples here of what we mean. So we'll start at the bottom. The bottom says, who really cares? Now, I put that there just as a placeholder. Technically, it can't be a who really cares if it's a top five. But in the chat, if I see some of y'all say, no, I didn't care about that person didn't care about it. ARP, you tripping? Then maybe I'll reformat the list at the end after mine is finalized just to see what the chat says. All right. Because hey, what I think is the top five, somebody could feel different. After that, we see you. What's an example of we see you? An example of we see you is kind of something that's just like, all right, you got buzz, you got noise. People are talking about it. It's not like every blogger stopped what they're doing. Not every media platform, knowledge and Uncle Ra isn't trying to run down on you, hop out on you, and figure out where you are so they can get a camera on you ASAP. You know, it's a we see you. If you're in battle rap, you know about it. Hot topic. Hot topic is definitely something that's internal to the battle rap culture. It doesn't go outside of the battle rap culture, but heavily discussed, widely discussed. If not every blogger and media platform is talking about it, they're definitely aware of it. Every fan is aware of it. The battlers are even weighing in and talking about it as well. Something that you wouldn't forget a couple years from now. The culture is on fire. Pretty self-explanatory, meaning this is one of the biggest things that's going on. All the bloggers are talking, all the podcasters and bloggers are reacting. Media is in front of you, all the fans are weighing in, the battlers are talking, Twitter's up, social media's up. Everybody's really on this topic, okay? And everyone stopped. The only differentiate or the delineation I have between everyone stopped and the culture's on fire is it can also have elements that go outside of the battle rap culture. So the whole battle rap culture stopped, and then we even have outside attention. Unfortunately, not something that happens in battle rap frequent enough. But yeah, when you start landing on Tasha K or you know what I'm saying, and academics or Joe Button podcasts or T and whatever, you know, you got some traction outside of our battle rap culture, and everybody else involved in the battle rap culture definitely stopped what they were doing. Bloggers cutting on their cameras at midnight. Everybody's weighing in. The views are up as well. Tends to be some of the highest viewed content. That's another one. So everyone stopped. Okay. Now that we're all clear and set on that, let's go to let me pull this off actually. Let me take the bigger screen for a second. I'm going to give you two of my two honorable mentions, and my two honorable mentions do not come with any videos, okay? My first honorable mention is Loaded Lux versus New Jersey Twerk, okay? Now, mind you, this was a huge battle. New Jersey Twerk is one of those new era goats, one of those new era Mount Rushmore type of guys. You got your New Jersey Twerks, you got your Geechees, you got your Brizzes, you know, these guys that after the Rum Nitty, the new era of guys where it's just like they them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And New Jersey Twerk, very electrifying person, somebody that everybody likes to watch. There's how many people say in battle rap, New Jersey Twerk, if he took his talent 1000% serious, if he was always on his A game, whether he was winning or losing, there's a chance that he would go down as the best and the greatest battle rapper ever. He has that much talent. Okay. So now you pair him with a Mount Rushmore. Loaded Lux is rarely off of anybody's Mount Rushmore. It's not off mine. He's on my Mount Rushmore as well. He's probably on 90+% of the chat's Mount Rushmore as well. So Loaded Lux, who also has been having good showings, good to great showings in the modern era of battle rap, was his last battle prior to Twerk. Was it versus Rum Nitty, which I think was considered battle of the year for 2024, right? So it's Loaded Lux, all right? You put these two guys together and you already have what's supposed to be one of the biggest moments of the year. Now, leading into the battle, what did I say about is often attached to battle rap? Controversy, controversial topics. What was the controversial topic of Twerk versus Loaded Lux? New Jersey Twerk gets arrested at the airport on his way out the country to the battle. Crazy. Put a lot of bloggers, a lot of fans, a lot of media, everybody's on pins and needles. Is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? This is a big battle. What the hell? We've been here before. We've seen situations that actually pulled through, similar to, for example, Hollow versus John Adon, pulled through last minute. URL, from what I remember, didn't make any public statements. So even creates more edge, pins and needles. Anwar was talking as New Jersey Twerk's representative to people behind the scenes, and then eventually did a video when I believe it was established that Twerk was on his way. He was overseas, he had landed, and he was like in a cab on his way. But a lot of talk, controversy, and then when you get to the actual battle, the battle lived up. The battle lived up. Lux had a great performance, probably one of the best performances of the year for 2025. I like what Twerk did too, man. I think when Twerk got off the stage, he probably sold himself a little bit short. And then he came back, he cleaned that up later after watching it. Like, man, I don't know if I got 30. I'm not sure if he got 30 neither. Lux won, but Twerk had a very, very good performance. He had a very, very good performance. That first round, I feel like he poured a lot into that shit. If you tell me it's a 10-minute round, I would believe you. He poured a lot into it. But of course, the Mount Rushmore Lux, and also, it feels like the fans are giving those throwback Mount Rushmores a lot of love this year. The Rexes, the Luxes, the Mooks, the J Mills, those throwback guys from the golden early start era, the Lions Den, before that even. So Lux living up to that versus one of the new era gods in battle rap. Dope to see. So I'm going to give that as my first honorable mention. My second honorable mention isn't related to a battle at all. I told y'all, controversy though, right? It's definitely tied to 100% full controversy. Fans, bloggers, people be here for it. My interest in it was knowing both of these guys, doing business with both of these guys, looking at the details, being very aware of it because it was such a big topic, and just seeing what's what. And that I'm going to say is Head Ice and Serious Jones. Okay, Head Ice and Serious Jones. If you really, really pay attention, their friction did not start this year. They have had friction for some time now. Okay, maybe it's been dormant, maybe it's been up, maybe it's been down, maybe at times they're closer, maybe they've been in the same room since then, a battle event here and there. But they've had friction prior. This shouldn't have jumped out and shocked anybody, to be honest. But how it really started, I don't even remember the origins, to be honest. I really don't remember, as far as this year, how it started. All I know is we got to a point where there was blogs going back and forth on both sides, and the type of allegations that were coming out as far as involving women, as far as involving telling or whatever. Anytime, whether I don't care if we're talking about the industry, I don't care if we're talking about battle rap, I don't care if you're talking about your homies down the block, those topics right there, those situations are always going to cause a lot of controversy because they are huge allegations, some of the worst allegations to ever go out there, right? And that back and forth, hey, Media was involved. I think Hip Hop Is Real covered some of it. Not sure if 15 Minutes of Fame did. All the bloggers weighed in, podcasts weighed in. And that was one probably when we got towards the end that I said, I think one of those guys, definitely at least one of those guys should just walk away. If you saw my podcast at those times, you know what I was saying there. I'm trying not to rehash it too much because it's very controversial. And y'all know I throw a little bit of extra courtesy to people inside of battle rap. I don't treat them industry niggas like that. Don't know them at all. But I throw a little bit of reservation in for my battle rap peers. So respectfully, I'm glad that it seems like, that has been laid down, let it go. And wherever people stand on that, they stand on that, they stand. And hopefully that just gets swept away, for those two guys. Shout out to Ice, shout out to Jones. So those are my two honorable mentions. Now, I'm going to come back to the tiering list. But before I come back to the tiering list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play from my top 5 in no order. So here's one for y'all, okay? Cassidy versus Easy the Block Captain.
Don't say he snuck me. Don't say he snuck me. Don't say he snuck me. Yo, just get your raps ready for the battle because you know you don't want no trouble, bro.
You don't want no trouble. You not scary. You not a scary nigga. You not a scary nigga. You not a scary nigga.
So what you think you is?
You think you a scary nigga? You think you a scary nigga? You a scary nigga?
Yo, nigga.
You can't do it.
Yo,
you can't do it.
When Remy was messing with that,
when Remy was doing that, yo, he's a dick eater. Yo, listen, yo, every time, yo, he's a dick eater, bro. He's a dick eater. He don't want no smoke.
When I went to jail, when I was standing on it myself, I wasn't talking about no.
He was.
When I talk about I'm talking about my shit. When I rap, I talk about myself. When I disrespect all y'all bitch ass niggas, I'm standing on my own. I ain't in no group. I ain't gun titles like you bitch ass nigga. You was in the house before you.
I'm not in no
and I told you you was a bitch for joining them in. I told you you was a bitch for joining them in.
I always said you a fucking hating ass nigga. I said you hating ass nigga. I said you the hating ass nigga. You the maddest shit I was with gun title. You a pussy. You a super pussy, nigga. Fuck is you.
And mind you, that definitely got worse and worse. This interaction got worse and worse and worse. I needed this in the top 5 because it's not even over yet. And it's already one of the biggest discussions of 2025. So you have the return of Cassidy. Always one of the noisiest people when he's on the scene. He's one of the most followed. He's one of the most legendary, one of the most talked about, one of the best arguers, at times controversial. And Cassidy has always made an explosion when he's on the scene. Think about Goods. Think about Arsenal. Think about Hitman. Think about Disaster. The only time that people really had like a subpar reaction was his announcement versus Freeway, a little bit versus John, but definitely versus Freeway, and that's not Cassidy's fault. Okay, nobody wanted to see Freeway, and by the time Freeway did that little freestyle on the corner, something like that, everybody was like, "Pack it up." Go ahead and renege on the contracts. I'm saying that jokingly and allegedly. I'm just joking. It was like, yo, pack it up. Nobody wants to see this shit. Get that shit the fuck out of here. It's not Cassidy's fault though. And I do believe that would have been a watched battle. A lot of people complain about things and still click play, especially when it's Cassidy. People talk their shit, but everybody tunes in. All right. Then you got Easy. Arguably, most controversial battle rapper over the last 5 years. He might be. I might have to give him that because not only has he, I am going to give it to him. Easy, yeah. Easy is the most controversial battle rapper in over the last 5 years. You have the URL situation. You have Trenches. You have all the stuff going on related to Philly. You have this Cassidy battle. You have all the TMZ and Tasha K stuff related to Rem and him. You have the viral battles versus Geechee, viral moments versus Shaka and Suge, huge epic battles versus Hitman Holla, and that was on Chrome. That was Chrome's biggest event. Easy absolutely is the most controversial battle rapper over the last 5 years. And once again, I said that's one of the biggest pieces of the formula, sometimes, unfortunately, in battle rap, for it to be one of the biggest moments, right? So now you put these two guys together. And then you have all these quotables, all this controversy, all this drama that comes from the face-off, and now the rollout. That's why I tweeted the other day, I said, listen, regardless who you think is going to win or lose at this point, TBL, you got one. Because neither one of these guys can lose a battle that's controversial like this. It's like, who wants to walk around with a clear L from something like this, against this guy that's saying this type of shit in my direction? And look at all the controversy it stirs up. You could tell something is big when people that aren't involved in the event, not booked on the event, and they're not even bloggers or podcasters weighing in. Like, I'm seeing Muslim Poppy popping up in interviews and stuff. I'm seeing Reed Dollars pop up on Hip Hop Is Real. These people are not you don't often catch them doing blogs or getting interviews. Outside energies weighing in. And the battle itself, it's going to be a high view battle. It's going to be a high view talked about discussion and situation. The moment that the battle is over, every blogger is going to be online recapping it, talking about it, giving their winners, the ups, the downs, all of that is going to come at play. And dare I say, we'd be fools to not anticipate controversy coming out of the rounds themselves, because we're seeing it build up in the promo. And if you're Easy and you're Cassidy, you don't shoot all your bullets in a promo, right? There's got to be a surprise or two that hits the stage. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying the battle didn't even happen yet, and it's already got the elements of being top 5 of the year. All right, let's move on. Once again, no order. We're going to go back to the tiering list and put them in order. I'm going to bring the tiering list back up. Number 2, top 5 biggest moments of 2025. Hitman Holla versus Murda Mook. Dope edit.
Y'all need to think, bitch, easy.
It sounds good to them. You talking to me now?
Well, what I'm telling you is, what you not gonna leave with is this.
Movie in my 5-year voice.
TBL, man, take
Shout out to
over
Direct.
Battle League, September 13th in Houston, Texas.
Back
It's
to back
going down.
TBL.
This is the most
Look at that.
anticipated. This is one of them final
Back to
boss
back
level
TBL.
battles. One of the matchups that people been wanting to see for years, and TBL has found a way to finally give it to you guys. I go by Direct. The PPV will be on rapgrid.com. Shout out to Don't Quote Me Podcast. On my right, I got Hitman Holla, and on my left, I got Murda Mook. Hitman, I'm gonna start with you. A lot of people will paint this battle as the angler, the strategist versus the performer. But I feel like there's a point in your career, like when you battle bill collectors, Ill Will, and Geechee Gotti's, where you shown other sides to yourself besides just the big performance that people might know you for. So it seems like you added a couple more things into your utility belt. So with people looking at Mook as a strategist and looking at you as a performer, do you feel like you have to fight against that narrative?
I mean, yeah, because I showed I was more than that versus Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I broke them down, stories, schemes, personals. Like I did that in 2010. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's the only narrative you can push on me. So if I really don't got a pen, like it was like a 7 or like that's the only thing they can say. Cause I deliver. I got schemes, punchlines, stories, aggressive delivery, anything across the board. I do at a high rate.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing it for 15 years. Somebody like him who ain't really did it that much, it just made me mad that they show him that kind of love when he really ain't that good to me.
Mm. So I'm gonna direct the same question to you, right? I feel like you started out as the king of battle, right? I feel like you snatched that crown early, and that's how a lot of people saw you. And I feel like with the rise of battle leagues, people were saying Mook can't beat a lot of the new age battlers. And I feel like one of your big turning points was when you battled Tay-Rock, and people got a chance to actually listen to your pen. You know what I'm saying? When you say stuff like the garlic dip, hollow tips and stuff like that, and the way you do your internal rhyme schemes, I feel like people started putting more focus on that. So with people looking at you as a strategist, as an angler, but with you also having a meticulous pen, facing against somebody who has arguably the biggest performance in battle rap history. Do you feel like you kind of got to rise to meet him at that level, or you feel like you just going to do what you do regardless?
Yeah, I'm gonna just do what I do.
There you go. I waited to get one response from each side. I'll tell you, man, when you got to sit in that seat that director's sitting in, and once again, shout out to Direct. The best face-offs don't need much from the host. Don't need much from the person in the middle. You lob a question or two, you maybe moderate when needed, but the two guys, once they take over, that's what the fans are there for. But anyway, the lead up to this, people, we know the grudge. It's been there for years. It's been talked about in many interviews, many blogs from both sides. They both put their opinions online. They both had their angles, their perspectives. All types of stuff was coming out over the years. But it is very true. This battle was so highly sought after. Just about every major league made an attempt at booking it. Every league, pretty much. Then again, except for me. Well, then again, did I? No, I did. I'm lying. I'm thinking about recent when it finally did happen. Nah, back in the day, yeah, RBE tried it as well. TBL comes in and they make it happen. And it's like, is this one of the end game, if not the end game matchups? Murda Mook, Hitman Holla. Whenever you get two God tiers, everything's supposed to stop anyway. So this turned out to be a very good face-off. The battle had a lot of talking points. There was some controversy in there as well. How do you leave this out of the top 5? You know, it's impossible. And I think they probably did 1 million views in a couple of days too, right? So even the numbers talk. All right, so that's number 2. Once again, no order before we go back to the tiering list. What do I want to play for number 3? Let's get a little controversial. Number 3 biggest talking point of 2025, biggest moments of 2025. And I'm not proud to say this, to be honest, okay, people? I'm not proud to say this, but this is battle rap.
Hey, listen, show me what you said this individual said he's not it.
You asking me to get his PSR.
Well, bro, if you ain't got this, how you calling him
You
that?
asking me to get his because I'm looking at what he pleaded out to, nigga.
Well, you don't have to say a name to tell. You know what I'm saying? If there's 4 of us in that bank and I say, yeah, you know, we did it. Like, what's the we? Like, I don't want to give a bunch of logical reasons. Whack 100 is Whack 100. Sometimes he's on, sometimes he's off. You always got to take his shit with a grain of salt. He's very customized to his own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll defend Young Thug last year with that interrogation audio, but this year he'll go on an all-out "you're a snitch" campaign because fucking Roscoe dissed QCP, right? That's not integrity to me. You know what I mean? But Whack is really the only one. But I saw it and I was just like, I'm cool. Everybody else, I'm not sticking up for everybody. I'm saying everybody else really has a logical ground to feel however they feel. They really do. Respect to everybody that's been covering this. I'm not even mad at them. And you want to know what? I will even go as far as to say a co-defendant can stand up. A co-defendant can come out and say, me and my lawyer was fighting something else, like what Young Thug said about Gunna. Like, yo, me and Brian Steele had to switch up and move around Gunna's plea. A co-defendant of those 9 people can actually come up and somebody could say that. And then we have to revisit. We do. But I think there is, when you look at that piece of, we have a co-defendant in this RICO that is still fighting after Sue Surf's plea. That is true. But he's not fighting that I didn't do that with Surf, because he's not on the indictment under that count with Surf. That's number 1. And number 2, he's not even listed on the counts at his own, the guy Warden. I don't see that. Did I miss it? It's right there for everybody to read. 51 pages. Somebody might do a video and say, yo, ARP, you missed this. And I'm respectfully, go ahead, send it to me. Respectfully. I ain't disrespecting nobody's opinions. Respectfully send it to me, and I'm cool with a debate or a disagreement or a difference of opinion. Right? But I walk through all of that because I know that there's things in those pieces of plea agreements in general, mafia versus street gangs, the position that people like Michael Franzese took. God, all of that is relevant to how people are developing their opinions based on this. Even that piece that I brought up with Surf saying, I'll do anything, just get me back home to my career, my daughter, and my mother. I get it. But the plea agreement, I feel, has a negation, not negated fully, but has a negation clearly right there that I read in the superseding indictment. Warden would have to come up and pull a Young Thug and say, oh, no, surf shit. Me and my lawyer had to, you would have to get Warden to say that. Other than that, I can't say that Sue Surf snitch. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I done said.
I was listening to myself like, damn, I don't remember some of those points. To be honest, look how fast the news cycle turns. Very, very controversial once again. And look how much of a polarizing person Surf is, that he wasn't even here at the time. He's still locked up. He's still serving his time. I don't even know if he put out a tweet during all of this. I'm pretty sure he knows about it. I'm pretty sure he heard about it. They got all types of forms of communications and social media, whatever, access it. You know what I mean? It be what it be. So I'm pretty sure he knows. But I mean, every blogger weighed in, all the media, all the battle rappers, people were going crazy on Spaces. And it's also because there's talks of him coming home right around the corner, right? Not just with Surf coming home right around the corner, but also the discussion point of Surf being one of the possible battle rap saviors. And I saw people in the chat saying, is this really battle rap? For that main reason why? Absolutely. Absolutely. Most of us know Sue Surf because of battle rap. That's probably where he's the most respected. That's probably where he has the most fans. And that's absolutely a discussion in 2025. Sue Surf is going to save battle rap. He's going to come, and people were saying like first quarter 2026. So when this came, it definitely could alter how battle rap looks at, like, wait a minute, damn, like, is he going to be put on stage if this all turns out to be true? And I think from some of the opinions that have gone around out there and the way things kind of closed out, especially with his co-defendant coming out, I think things landed pretty much in his favor. All right. But highly discussed moment in 2025 for a battle rapper within the battle rap culture. Okay. All right. We got two more. All right. Once again, not in order till we get to the tier list. What's number 4? Look at it. I see some people in the chat. Obviously, I had all this stuff preloaded, so some of you guys guessed it. And yeah, you just can't ignore it.
Get right into it. As far as I'm gonna be all over the place. As far as the battlers being paid, do you feel like you wronged any of the battlers in the situation?
Intentionally, no. No. Like I said, you go back since Endgame happened, my story's been the same.
Right.
Whether niggas wanted to accept what I was saying, find loopholes and figure certain shit out, that's on them.
Right.
There was a deal put together, and it was contingent on the Cassidy battle. So once that battle does not happen, funds are cut off.
Right.
Bottom line. Again, Battle Facts is here. He could correct me. He was aware of the distribution deal pertained around the Cassidy battle.
Right.
Okay. So that's when it got to a place now. A lot of the funds that, first of all, let's stop the narrative saying the battlers weren't paid. Can we stop that one? Because when I say they weren't paid, you can say weren't paid in full.
Right.
Didn't get their full purse. You can say that. When you go out there and say they wasn't paid, that's putting another narrative out there that's just simply not true.
No, so listen, I got that. As far as I think what most people want to hear is if you understand that when something goes wrong with an event, it's not on them to have to just accept.
Absolutely, I understand that. Absolutely, I understand that. But this was expressed to the battlers.
Okay, I'll pause it right there. So, shout out to John, shout out to Facts. And there was, once again, other entities involved in this. You got the likes of a Cassidy, his name being attached to this entire Endgame event discussion still. We saw him snap the other day on Hip Hop Is Real, right? So you got Cassidy involved. It's going to get extra clicks. It's going to get extra news. It's going to be a wider discussed topic. Cassidy is one of the elements, okay? John obviously is one of the elements. The discussion around bullpen and John and Endgame, a lot of discussion points have been coming out. Then you got other battlers, right? Battlers that have come out, whether it's been controversial, like a Danny Myers, or other ones that were just dropping little random stuff in there. I think some of the random ones could have been like, let's say, like a Jones or who else? Jay Mills. Dropping like little random stuff out there. But Danny became a controversial topic because there's kind of like fight talk and whatnot going back and forth and whatnot. So automatic controversy, battle rap's going to turn their ears. So you got that. You got other people involved too. You got alleged investors coming out. You have Chris Petty. You have Slick Will, you know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of people involved. And what that does is it creates all these different chapters to a story that the fans, the bloggers, the media, other battle rappers will latch onto. We love storylines, right? Hopefully they're all positive, but often they're negative, okay? And Facts was the center of a lot of this media coverage, okay? He interviewed pretty much all of the primary stakeholders, from what it seems, right? And then fast forward, John even interviews with Facts. Now, prior to that, John does the interview with Hip Hop Is Real. He voices his entire opinion. People react to that. Eventually, the two primary people come together here in this interview here. So this felt kind of, for no pun intended, not no bullshit, kind of like the Endgame moment. You know what I'm saying? These two guys finally, it's like this guy's over here and he has his opinions and his coverage. You got John over here. He's got his positions and some of his reactions. And eventually the crossroad happens right here. Okay. And I think this is after weeks of building up, I want to say, of things unfolding from one chapter in the story or not, right? I'm not even sure if there's still stuff happening behind the scenes. There's even byproducts of this as well. For example, the upcoming and Cassidy Easy battle received a cease and desist. Okay. So this thing's got tentacles all over the place. I don't know if it's done. I don't know what's still happening behind the scenes. I don't know where John stands on some of the things that have already been discussed publicly currently. I don't know. I don't even know where Facts stands. There was talks of like battles and footage. I don't know where things are right now, but the entire culture weighed in and was following and watching this play out. Last but not least, what do y'all think the fifth is before we get back to the tiers? Biggest moments, most controversial or talked about moments of 2025. What do y'all think the fifth one is, the final one? What do y'all think it is? Chat, I'm taking a look at y'all. Of course, I already got this preloaded up before the stream cut on, right? I'm not freestyling this. I freestyle what I say, but as far as lining it up, I see Mills, DNA, and Goods. I see our member Chin 718 say we know it's Jay Mills. What if it's not? What if it's not? What if I'm just like, man, the songs was the songs, let's all move on. What if it's not? What if it's not? Huh? Would I be tripping? Is it then like, yo, ARP, what kind of podcast is this? You're supposed to be centralizing news for us? What the fuck are you on? What if it ain't? Enough fake suspense. I shall play, to me, the best song to come out of it.
You are now listening to the sounds of Ether Boy.
Turn the motherfucking lights on. Turn the motherfucking lights on. I'm going gone. I'm going gone. I'm going gone. I'm going gone. Yeah. I'm going gone. Yeah. I'm going gone. Look. First thing first, I ain't a troll, I'm a crash. I saw this little podcast clip that made me laugh. Battle rappers turn bloggers saying I'm living in my past. And it's crazy, cause them same niggas living in my past. Playing with my name, boy, you tripping, I'm a spaz. In the school I came from, you couldn't sit up in my class. You woke up on your birthday thinking about all my success and started sneak dissing with a purse strap to crush your chest. You talking like Escobar when you really at the barge. How the slick talk card, getting slick talk washed. I'm talking spin cycle. It's a blessing I never been like you. Goods and DNA, Randy and Marlon, never been Michaels. Boy, I was moonwalking before you started spooning and forking. You niggas just some haters and groups who be talking. Goods, you acting like a bitch in the chat, but nigga, when I say clock it, it's checkmate. Even at my worst, you couldn't see me on your best day. Fuck when you was born, I have them celebrate your death day. Fuck your voice notes, nigga, please don't text shit. Going home celebrations for niggas, that's the best way to get the point across when that point is crossed. Oh, you shining, bet this Glock will blow your pointers off. You niggas chase bitches that I've been flung and tossed. And she kept sucking even when my joint was soft. It's Millsy, I'm low profile. Rap style, slick as new now. Most hated crew pounds. Every time I'm moving through town, fuck all that slick talk. Nigga, you will get off and get chalked and tombstone and picked up and hip tossed. Cause you love my style, you fake Harlem nigga, get lost. Tight face always mad, your plane ain't never lift off. That's all you got is crickets, ain't no custody, so you pissed off. Other than filming your part in there, what you got that shit for? Okay, let's get to it. You been a sassy light-skinned Bronx nigga, and I knew it. You keep.
Boy, I wasn't bullshitting the other day when I was debating with Mickey Fax while we was going through the tiering list of the songs, and I said I can take that song and argue it against other industry diss tracks. I mean that. I mean that. Like turn his lights off. I'm still kind of surprised that there's people that take other songs in the entire battle, whether from DNA Goods or Jay Mills, over. I just feel like that's such the clear best track. But everybody's different. I love y'all. It's all good. Y'all ready to get to these tierings though? Let me mention one thing to y'all too, because we play a bunch of music. Hell, we just were. Has anybody else caught on that there's a music delay from what I'm hearing versus what's playing? Has anybody else caught on? I kind of got a little ego to say that. The reason why is because delay makes, if I say the words with them, it's off a couple seconds or two, or maybe a second. Even when I'm moving around or whatever, when I'm on the playback, I'm off beat a little bit. I hate that shit because the last thing I have is 2 left feet. I will outdance almost all of you motherfuckers in the chat. And I hate that these streams, when they make me dance, because it's in my blood, it's in my soul. And when the fucking stream delay, I gotta hit StreamYard up about that. It's like what I hear in my fucking ears is not synced with the play. I hate it. I fucking hate it. My 2-step not hitting the 808s and shit. I hate it. I'm a dead open up a case with StreamYard about that. See if they could tell me something that's wrong or something. All right. Y'all ready? I'm not gonna repeat what how we came up with this bracket as far as that everyone stopped. The culture is on fire. Hot topic. We see you. Who really cares? I ain't gonna go back to the beginning of the stream, replay that. But here they are. I had it all staged for y'all, right? The 5. So let me keep the order of the way we played them on the screen. So that would mean that the first one was Easy versus Cassidy, right? Okay. Easy versus Cassidy. Who really cares? Do y'all care? Come on now, man. Everybody care. I'll listen. I'll say that in my face, man. I promise you we're going to fight. Nah, I'm just joking, Supreme. Nigga, you wish. The last thing I'm going to do is do cardio in place for a whole fucking show. Whole time. So like, yo, P, you all right? You got to ice them knees down tomorrow morning, G. We ain't that young no more, my man. Come sit down next to we old folk. Yo, all right. Y'all want to play with me, say? When I get the StreamYard shit fixed, we're going to see which one of y'all motherfuckers keep up. But anyway, all right. No, it's not who really cares. It's not a we see you. It's Easy versus Cassidy. It's bigger than a hot topic as well. So this really becomes a discussion. Is this the culture is on fire, or is it everybody stopped? I'm going to park right here. Now, if I do this list again in December, like right before New Year's, I'm like 90% sure that this will be everyone stopped, only because the battle hasn't happened yet. The booking, the lead up, the face off, the controversy, all the drama that's happening out there right now. I see people doing videos saying Easy versus Philly. I see all of it. I see all of it. Easy. Is it time for us? I know Easy and Cass ain't scared to come on here. You know, the Sorry It's True podcast. Easy and Cass, is it that time for us to sit down? I rock with both these guys. So, you know, if you see one come on first, the other one don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's schedule it, fellas. I'm gonna shoot them both a text. But right now, I got the culture is on fire. Because if it wasn't for the goods, the J Mills and the DNA back and forth, this is the only thing we'd be talking about. It's the only fucking thing. And still, it's out there heavily discussed. Sometimes things like the goods, the DNA, and the J Mills battle is a league owner's worst nightmare. Why? Because you got this big ass fucking main event. You got all this money out on the table, and something else is going on that's pulling the attention away. At least it was a fucking battle. But when it's like some stupid shit, league owner be like, oh, I can't believe it. Because we know the culture. The culture thrives on controversy, and everybody turns to the bullshit. So I'm going to park it here at the culture is on fire for now. When the battle happens, remember, one of the pieces about everyone stopped is going outside of the culture. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up. Okay. What are we like 3 Saturdays away? Yeah. All right. Next up, what did I do next? I did Murda Mook versus Hitman. Okay. Who really cares? Come on, man. It's Hitman and fucking Mook. We see you. You guys see the views on this battle? Hot topic. Once again, do you see the views on? Let me pull up the fucking views real quick. What is the views at? These guys really have the biggest battle of the year, I think. Hitman versus Murda Mook. I mean, you don't see million view battles going up left and right anymore. But and I'm not saying we ever did. It takes only the top guys or super classics to do it. But 2.2 million views 2 months ago is what YouTube on TBL's channel says right now. The face-off is almost 700,000 views. Now, when you add up all the clips, the viral nature of it, all the different platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and all that, if you got to 1 billion, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be. Did I say 1 billion? No, I mean like 100 million. That's what I meant to say. Like 100 million, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. So, culture is on fire. It's everyone stopped. Because if you look at even some of my description in the beginning of the stream, and also I pretty much just said that even about the Cassidy and the Easy. One of the separators is the fact that the battle happened. And there was a lot of discussion after the battle. The whole everybody stopped to discuss the battle. Everybody. And it absolutely went outside. I saw a bunch of podcasts picking it up. Shout out to Rory and Maul on their podcasts and Joe Budden's podcast. The podcasts like that only cover like, I feel like 2 or 3 main events a year. If that. You know, it's got to be a high traction, high view discussion. And then those platforms pick it up. And that's what happened here. I feel like celebrities were talking about it. Celebrities were tweeting. Celebrities were watching. So that's one of the big differences right now between the Hitman and Mook and the Cassidy and Easy, because both have big rollouts. Both have big promotional lead-ins. But one just hasn't had the battle happen yet. Okay. Let me take a peek at the chat. Let me see if anybody's disagreeing with me so far. I see Chin says everyone stopped from Mook versus Hitman. I see this one says the culture stopped for that. Okay, I think y'all. Okay, we all on the same page. Cool. All right, let's move on then. Next up, which one did I do in order? I did the Sue Surf one. Okay, cool. Who really? I'm about to contradict myself. I just realized that. I'm about to contradict myself. Who really cares? Of course not. We see you. It's Sue Surf. Sue Surf is one of the most polarizing, most discussed battle rappers in battle rap history. Hot topic. Hot topic. Did every blogger talk about Sue Surf allegations? I'm gonna say, I think so. I'm gonna say I think so. This is the reason why I think I'm gonna contradict myself. Because the Sue Surf allegations and talk and all the buzz and drama and controversy that came from that moment, it did go outside battle rap, but it still doesn't feel like everyone stopped. And I know I said one of the criteria for everyone stopped is going outside, because look at the thumbnail to this. That was Whack 100 talking about it, right? Whack 100 ain't around covering battle rap like we do down here on the ground, right? Why did he pick this one up? Of course, because of the allegations, and he likes to do the snitching stuff or whatever with the exposers, but also because Sue Surf has a name outside of battle rap, okay? But I just don't feel that everyone stopped Element the way I feel. I don't even feel like it's as big of a topic as much as Easy and Cassidy, to be honest. And that one, I'm still holding on for the battle. So I'm going to park it there. You know, I hope you guys agree. If y'all feel like everyone stopped, you know, put it in chat, let me know. But I feel like that's a good spot for it. All right, next up, Moment of Truth is the thumbnail for John and the homie Facts. We see you, who really cares? Of course not. Hot topic. I'm struggling. Chat, if I needed help, it would be for this one. I'm going to say definitely hot topic. Now, the culture is on fire. See, I can't even say when the culture is on fire, every blogger is talking about it, because every blogger is also associated with just content. You know, like, hey, this is what's newsworthy, and this is what we're going to talk about on our platforms, different opinions out there. That's not the only qualification for the culture is on fire. You know, I didn't feel that. This was controversial. It was widely discussed. But people, you know what it is too? Here's a way I can separate this by leaving it in hot topic. I feel like everything above, for the culture is on fire and everyone stops. You want to know one thing that they have that I don't think that the John and Danny and the Investor or Bullpen or Will or Facts or Cat, one thing I don't feel is that people are personally invested. And they're not always going to tell you that, but sometimes you can see it. The Cassidy and the Easy, for example, I mentioned people that don't even blog or do interviews that frequently, they're weighing in. You know, people that seem like they take it personal about, like, is Easy from Philly? It's almost like a personal thing. The Sue Surf thing, there was definitely a couple bloggers that were following this situation, breaking it down, whatever, that it seemed personal. You know, whether that's for a good or bad, I don't know. But there definitely was some personal vibes that I felt in Hitman versus Mook. That's just the type of battle, the type of situation from the face-off all the way through the battle where you damn near get the feeling like pick a side. You know, it's almost like pick a side. It's like battles like that can divide the culture, can divide the fans, where it's almost like regardless of which side of the gate you stand on, you can get backlash. You know, it's one of those type of vibes. Pick a side. So I'm gonna leave the John one here at hot topic for those reasons. Okay. Last but not least, Jay Mills versus DNA versus Goods. So let's not even bullshit. Let's just get all the way up here and see, is ARP going to leave it as the culture is on fire, or is he going to say everyone stopped? I have an even better question for the chat before I continue my take. Is it currently number one, which would put it ahead of the response, the impact, the reaction, and the talking points of Hitman versus Mook? Now, before you guys start answering that in the chat, don't have any newness bias of it still being fresh. I'm not saying it can't be or it shouldn't be. I just want you guys to answer that correctly. Is it ahead of Mook and Hitman in you guys' eyes? Chin says, ARP, you know, I didn't get my take yet. All right, chat, what do y'all got? If you had to compare these two as far as impact, talked about, talking points, coverage, the ability to go be talked about outside of the battle rap culture as well, the reaction to it, the gravity of it. What do you guys think? Chin says it. That's a good question. Appreciate it. We got about 50-50. Okay. Don Bean is here. He says, let it marinate. I'm not getting any answers. Oh, here goes one. Okay. We got one. Shout out to Supreme. He says, not bigger than Mook. Okay. That's one. This one says Hitman versus Mook was bun cake. All right. I never even heard that one before. I'm going to say no. We got a nope. Okay. So everyone that I'm seeing so far in the chat is saying that it's not ahead of Hitman and Mook. I'm going to tell you why I agree. When you just centralize even just on the battle of Hitman and Mook, you know, if Hitman was on this podcast with me right now, you know what he would argue, right? Hitman loves to argue with and debate with the black and white numbers, and numbers are always some of the hardest things to get around, right? The whole Jay-Z, men lie, women lie, numbers don't type of philosophy, right? It did 1 million views in a couple days, Hitman and Mook. I don't know if there's a single video in DNA Goods or J Mills that's over 150,000 views. Even cracking 50,000 views for this stuff is great for Goods, DNA, and J Mills. It's great. And there's a couple videos, I believe, that have been released that probably got to 100 and possibly peaked. That's great numbers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't live in the moment when we talk about impact. That Hitman and Mook discussion, the viewership of it, the personal vibes of it. Yeah, that's number one in 2025 right now. But look at that. A fucking topic situation that is random, that was organically created. J Mills and DNA and Goods wasn't booked, people. They started arguing after the podcast episode. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, diss songs and subliminals and blogs are coming out. And now we're at a point where if you watch the last couple blogs, especially the one from J Mills, he's making it clear these guys don't fuck with each other. And I kind of predicted that a couple streams back. I was like, I don't know if they like each other at this point, right? And it's crystal clear now from their own words. So I really, really do believe that there's no way around it being one of the best, most entertaining, most impactful battles of the year. Those three guys. But you can't live in the moment. Hitman and Mook is in the lead currently. Okay. It's in the lead. Let me come over to the chat. Does anybody disagree with me? Remember, we had 2 honorable mentions in the beginning. How about this? I'm gonna spend 30 seconds. I got one more quick topic that I want to knock out before we end the stream. But how about this? From the 2 honorable mentions that I put, one honorable mention was Loaded Lux versus New Jersey Twerk. The other honorable mention was Head Ice and Serious Jones situation. And then you got these 5. You got John Johns and Bullpen and Fax and all the other people. You got Sue Surf allegations. You got Easy versus Cassidy. You got Hitman versus Mook. You got J Mills versus Goods and DNA. If you had to create a top 5, even with 2 honorable mentions, is there something that you feel should displace one of these? I'm going to give that 30 seconds on the chat. If not, I did my job and I nailed it. Let me come up a little bit. What is this? Hitman likes to argue and Mook stutters too much. Hella crazy. I agree. Okay. Shout out to Sam G. Chin said, you know what? I agree with that. Okay. Will we ever get Mook and Cassidy? Do they really want to battle at this point? And if they do, will it be what maybe Cassidy and Rex would be? Those guys every once in a while go back and forth. What's good, homie? Good to see you as always. I would keep DNA, Goods, and Mills at the Cultures on Fire because that was really just for the culture. Very, very good point. Very, very, very good point. It does have one. I'm not using it as the final thing to take it to that category, but it does have the elements of going outside the culture. You know, there are people outside the culture talking about that battle. But I think that's a very interesting take up here. Interesting. Very good point. Okay. J Mills exposing the battle rappers who can't rhyme on beat. This I'm trying to go in order. Y'all do please be kind and hit that like button one good time. I appreciate that, homie. Yes, please hit the like for your boy. Get John and Facts the F out of here. What will replace it? You got to replace the top 7, the 5, and then 2 honorable mentions. Don Bean, what replaces it? That's a bigger. Jazz's rant is a big talked about moment. Dare I say it didn't have the talking length of all of the ones, including the honorable mentions that I put up. All of those were talked, because remember, even the honorable mention of something like Lux and Twerk, it's talked about before the battle as well as during the battle and after the battle. The controversy of him getting locked up, the promo leading in, all of that, and then the battle, and then the aftermath. So, and then the Serious Jones and the Head Ice thing, I feel like played out over a couple weeks. Jazz's rant is one of the top talked about moments of the year, and it was one of the dopest moments of the year. But I don't know if I could make that bump one of the 7. I don't know if I can. Jazz versus Hustle. Really? I didn't even think about that. Because I did 14 straight days, so definitely went a couple weeks. I don't think it went outside of battle rap. I didn't even think about me and Verb, to be honest. It's 40 days and 40 nights. I swear to God on everything, I didn't even think about myself. I didn't. Does that bump one of the 7, Official and Coffee? Maybe. Ooh. Well, it wasn't Joey Badass and Lux per se. That was one song out of it. It was Joey Badass versus Daylight. Ooh, you guys are making this interesting. I agree. Official and Coffee and Joey Badass versus Daylight. Let's talk about it. Somebody put me and Verb in there. Out of everything that's mentioned, I feel like me and Verb come underneath everything. Let's talk about it. You guys are doing real good in the chat. Yeah. Yo, Bissell said this shit was lit. We're talking about a bunch of bullshit that's not even supposed to be good or healthy for battle rap. Yet we call it lit. That's what I mean of us not ignoring the truth. This is the type of stuff that ranks in battle rap. I'm just glad we're fucking being truthful. I'm glad we're being honest. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed today's tier. Once again, I'm going to be doing those with all types of stuff. I'll be doing those for year ends. I'll be doing those for battles. I'll be doing those for battlers. I'll be doing those for regular hip hop topics as well. I'm having fun bringing those into the podcast. So keep a lookout for many, many more of those. And I also like doing them. I see you, Kane, but I'm not interested in bringing that one up here. But I see what you're saying. And I also enjoy doing the tier list with guests. Okay. So keep an eye out. All right. Let me bring this last one up real quick. I didn't want us to skip this today from the Sorry It's True podcast standpoint, even though we've been heavy on battle rap for the past week. This one right here, man. They don't listen. Government claims picture taken in court of Lil Durk's co-defendants warrant an anonymous jury. So that's already been a fight in this court. Okay, should the jury be anonymous? And even Durk and his legal counsel were arguing earlier this week and some of last week, I believe, for the removal of the judge, right? And a lot of this was based around the threats towards the prosecutors and the judges that they're alleging are coming from, I guess they're trying to paint it as Lil Durk fans. And that's why I did a take. And I'm just like, hey, Lil Durk fans and groupies and fanatics, if you guys are indeed sending threats to the courts or to the judge and all that type of shit, you think you fucking standing on your knees for Durk is going to help him or hurt him? Obviously, the paperwork and the process is showing that it's hurting him. Okay, he's getting some of his shit denied, and the prosecutors are using some of that shit in their fights for some of these motions. All right, but we did see this picture come out of court. That's Didi in the background, OTF Didi. He's in the background smiling. This is a one-pager that we're going to look over, people. I had it on the docket, but since it's right here, no need to pull up both. It went on the docket yesterday. On November 18, 2025, this court held a hearing, multiple pretrial motions, including the government's motion requesting that the court impanel an anonymous jury. Among the things, the government's motion explained that the anonymous jury was necessary because of the significant risk of interference with witnesses and the judicial process. See docket 235, 10 through 14. I did bring that up, reread it, pretty much aligns with what's being said here. And due to the extensive and continuous national publicity in the case, consistent with these concerns, the government received information today that at least one photograph was taken during the hearing, depicting certain defendants and counsel. The photograph taken in violation of Fed-R Criminal Penal Code, I guess, 53, prohibiting courtroom photographing, has been published on at least 3 different websites. Shit, I wonder if I'm adding to it here by covering this shit. Damn, my bad. I was just complaining, right? Damn. I mean, by now, 1 million people. But Reddit, Instagram, and Facebook. This blatant violation of the federal rules and the following widespread dissemination of the photograph underscores that an anonymous jury is only one of the security measures this court should employ to prevent improper attempts to intimidate and or influence jurors, ensure a fair trial for all parties, and protect the judicial process. Now, you got to look at it like this, people. Got to think about it like this. Shout out to Jay. Appreciate you, love, for the super. Look at it like this, y'all. How long do we really think this trial is going to last? My guess is minimum a month. That might be being nice. You got to give it 4 weeks. Diddy was how long? Was Diddy a month? Over a month? Hold on. Let me double check, people. How long did Diddy's trial last? Let me scale this. Let me see. I don't want to overshoot it. 7 weeks. Okay. 7 weeks, 3 days. So almost 2 months. How many witnesses? Let's take a look at that. How many different, I feel like it was a lot. Different witnesses took the stand. I'm going to say at least 10, right? 10, 15? Maybe more. Am I tripping? There's a lot of witnesses that took the stand during the Diddy trial. Oh, shit. That shit says 34 different witnesses took the stand. Shit. All right. That's a lot of testimony. That's a lot of cross-examination. Cassie was up there for like 4 or 5 days herself, right? Cuddy a couple days, Dawn Rashad, right? So, I got to give this, I got to stand with that. I got to say bare minimum 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 4 weeks is a lot of time. I mean, 1 day is enough time, but 4 weeks is a lot of time for people to be showing showing up in and out of that court, the media coverage, and pictures like this to go in and out. Now, we didn't get any pictures really from inside the court for Diddy. Everybody followed those rules, right? I feel like the first time we saw Diddy's face ever since he's been arrested was in the jail yard recently. Other than that, it was just sketches. Now, the Dirk case could be different. In New York courts, no cameras were allowed in. Will cameras? No, not cameras. Will it be televised? No, it can't be. No, maybe that's the reason why they're trying to vote against it then. Will this trial be not televised? Have how do I describe that? Have footage / coverage similar to whose case this year had video footage coming out of it? The Julio Fulio trial, right? Julio Fulio trial. Oh, matter of fact, I got a better one. Young Thug's YSL trial. Young Thug and YSL. Hell, we all sat there live watching his plea agreement, right? Will cameras be allowed in? Not for Diddy, for Dirk's trial in California. It's being held out of the Central District of California. So it says it's possible but not guaranteed, huh? What California law court rules say about cameras in courtroom. California rule 1.150 governs for photographing, recording, and broadcasting of court proceedings. Under that rule, the judge has discretion to allow media coverage that can permit or refuse. So it's not a hard no. So that it's possible. It's possible that we see that stuff ongoing, which would then make them want to keep the anonymous jury. Okay. Now, when we hear anonymous jury, I don't think they're trying to protect the faces. I think they're trying to protect the actual legal names. Is that what happens? Either way, this is all bleeding into the actual charges of murder for hire. You know, like you don't claim that there's threats towards the jury in Diddy's case that's talking about, you know, the Mann Act and prostitution and him sitting in a corner with some fucking Astroglide and shit and KY, whatever. Right. This is a murder for hire, and they're already discussing witness intimidations, and now they're talking about threats to the judge and the prosecutors. So if you feel like there's a real threat from somebody like Lil Durk, which is allegedly shot calling violence, you have the thing called witness intimidation. Some people probably wouldn't even want to be on that witness panel because you don't want to be seen as somebody that's involved in possibly judging or being a part of a return verdict for Lil Durk serving time. Because yeah, if you walk around being disliked for that, you never know how somebody treats you in the street, in your real life, behind shit like that. All right, we got to continue just to watch that play out. Let's see if by tomorrow or by the end of the week, well, we are at the end of the week. Let's see by at least mid next week if we get an official ruling finally on will the jury remain anonymous. I see the prosecutors that they are given ammo, you know, the alleged threats and the nature of the charges against Durk and the co-defendants. They got a lot of ammo. So we'll see. But that's not good for Durk. It's as if they really are proving that Durk is a threat to the jury, not just, you know, to allegedly the people that he's into it with, but the jury. Not good. All right. Once again, I also want to bring up Mr. Gordon. Thank you for our member, or Miss Nikita Gordon, Miss Gordon. I meant our member for the reminder. Bust that like button, coming in or out. Share the stream. I like the new default picture too, love. I like that. She switched up on y'all, huh? And Jay, once again, always showing her love and support to the podcast movement. Thank you, love. All right, let's get up out of here. I know it's a little bit late. I keep saying that because I like to be on here earlier in the afternoon. But let's get to the rest of the evening. Today's Thursday, right? Happy Thursday. I'll see y'all tomorrow for a Friendly Friday. We out.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.